Hello again, this is Chantal. So I chose a beautiful sunny day today to speak with you about the third chakra. Why? Because the third chakra is based on the fire element. So think about the center in the middle of your abdomen being ignited by fire. And that fire gives you the energy to take action, to make decisions, to say yes, to say no, to make choices, to have clear boundaries, and engage your mind and your actions behind your passion. So one of the things I forgot to mention is what's called the challenging part of every chakra or every center of power. For the first one, it's fear. The second one is guilt, and the third one is shame. So shame is something along the lines of you feel not that you did something wrong, but you feel like there is something wrong with you. So that is shame. And usually that comes from the fact that you had parents and or caregivers around you that could not sustain your sense of independence, your sense of self, and somehow had the need to make you wrong for who you were, what you did, etc. So shame is really a feeling that runs deep in the system. So if you have a healthy third chakra, first of all, if you think about all the digestion and all the digestive organs in the middle of the solar plexus, you think about being able to digest, you think about being able to assimilate and transform. So that's what the third chakra is about. You basically are able to take life, make decisions, cut out what doesn't work for you, engage towards what works for you, and really take action and turn it into goals and results. So a lot of people have come to me over the years wanting to set goals, reach their goals, and achieve what they wanted to do. And I also was one of them, where I have hired a lot of coaches in my life because I knew there was something I wanted. And at first I didn't know what I wanted. Then I knew what I wanted, but then I didn't know how to make it happen. And once I knew how to make it happen, I still couldn't make it happen because I was standing in my own way. So many years later, now I understand why. So if you think about the third chakra, you stand tall, and you're able to have your sense of self, and you let other people have their sense of self, and you are able to live your life according to what is important to you. Now, if we go back down, the first three centers of powers really matter a lot because they're related to our early childhood and the traumas that have happened to us. So if you had issues around, first chakra, being uprooted, fear of money, not belonging, and issues around housing, etc., chances are that when something happens that rocks your world, you get really scared. And when you get really scared, then your emotions are hard to manage. You either feel them or don't. And then you kind of run on urgency or emergency, the fight, flight, or freeze, which is the first chakra. Then it's really hard to make plans long term. All your plans are about survival, and all your plans are about the here and now. And so that's what happens. The third chakra is more about engaging and trusting that if you take action, you take one step after the other, you will reach your goal. So it's not only about making the plan, but it's about sustainability and commitment, individuality, and continue your journey towards achieving what you're here to do. So if you are deficient in that center, you will be rigid in your body and attitudes. You may be having poor social skills and excessive boundaries and a fear of change, lack of desire and passion, etc. So I'm reading now if I look down. Bear with me. Now, if you have excess, you may be addicted. It's definitely related. And you can have also excessive strong emotions, bipolar mood swings, being sort of like a crisis junkie, and being oversensitive. And you may also have poor boundaries, so you are either being invaded by others or you invade others. So all these things are really about coming into yourself. So what I like to think about when I think third chakra, I think about having my sense of self, but also breathing towards the back. So a lot of chronic fatigue and over excessive work comes from the overinvestment of your willpower and not trusting that the universe really has your back. So balancing the front means you're holding yourself clear, and in the back you're trusting that somebody literally has your back. So what helps you balance this chakra is energy, movement, being able to do some 12-step program if you have addiction issues, and anything that helps you create a sense of boundaries and achieving and getting clear on what you want and achieving your goals. So often, physically speaking, sit-ups will help you get that core strength. So it's not overly doing that either, because if you work a lot from the front, then you don't open and trust the universe and what's happening in the back. So take a deep breath, and really your sense of self is not about overarching your back. It's about lifting from the sits bones to the low back to the mid back and breathing there and allowing for your front to be very strong. So these are the physical, some of it emotional, some of it mental. And is also the connection to spirit that matters in this center. So until we speak again, I encourage you to sit down with yourself and write about what you want, because that's about second chakra and the actions that you can take to mobilize yourself towards what you want. And if you feel like you can't do that, then identify the barriers and find somebody to talk to, because really at the end of the day, we're not alone. So until we see each other again, I hope you get into motion and action.